so now we're gonna start with my favorite part of this whole thing, which is the meatballs. So what goes into it?
Okay, so while we have our sauce simmering, what we're gonna do is you're gonna take about 3 to 5 pounds of ground beef. I think we have about 4.5 pounds here. For every pound of meat you put in there, you're gonna wanna put 2 eggs. So for 4.5 pounds of meat, we need to add 9 eggs to the meatballs. So let's get started.
Okay.
All right.
All the eggs.
So now we have 9 eggs for our 4.5 pounds. Now for every pound of meat you put in there, you need to put, as my mother would describe it, 1 heaping handful of the Italian breadcrumbs.
Got it.
So we have 4.5 pounds. We'll do 4.5 heaping hands. 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 5. So you want to start mixing at this point, because if you don't, it's just going to get unwieldy to mix. So just start getting that going. And while I'm doing this, you can open up the Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And it's the same kind of thing. For every pound of meat, you're going to do another heaping handful.
Okay, I have smaller hands.
I was going to say, your hands are probably about...
They're like half the size of yours.
So let's just do 5 really big handfuls of you dumping that in here.
Okay. 1.
Sure.
2. 3.
3.
I think I'm using the whole thing. 4.
That's all right.
No,
It's
2,
cheese.
5.
I'll just count that.
Okay.
It's cheese. It's not like it's going to make it any worse.
Right.
We want to make sure we get this all together. What I'm going to have you do now is we already have that's about 6 cloves of garlic right there. And if you could put that in the garlic press and add it to our meatballs.
Okay.
It's a real labor of love to have to make this.
It is. Your mom make this a lot at home?
This is a standard for every time I go back home to visit my parents who live in Boston, and for every major holiday, Thanksgiving included. So we will have a pasta course with this, even on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have the turkey, we'll have clam chowder, we'll have everything, and then there's always still a pasta course. And it's just something that's been around since I've been around, so even before. Okay, so now that we got this going, this is the last thing we add to the meatballs before we start rolling them, is we're gonna add that whole bag of jack cheese.
Okay, dump it.
Just dump the whole thing.
Got it. There you go.
There it is. We're gonna mix all that in there. Really get in there. It's a messy process, so you might as well just go all out with it.
Sure.
Mix it all up. And once again, these are meatballs. It's not a dessert, so you can mix any way you want. If you want to add less cheese, go ahead. You want to add more breadcrumbs, go ahead. It's not like it's gonna
make it worse.
Exactly.
I got it.
Personally, I say add more of it, because why the heck not?
Okay. Sounds good.
So now that we got this all basically mixed up into a nice, it's gonna be heavy, so it's gonna be sticky and it's gonna be heavy. We're gonna do now. So you take a big handful, or a handful of it, and now we're literally just gonna, that's too much.
Is mine okay?
You're fine. And then we're gonna roll them into a meatball.
Okay.
Roll it into a ball. Doesn't have to be perfect, because let's be honest, your meatballs are gonna taste good no matter what.
Well,
Perfect.
your meatballs are really big.
Well, my hands are bigger than yours. So add a little bit more to yours.
Okay.
There you go.
Mine's like a baby meatball.
There you go.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that.
Okay.
And we're gonna put them on our cooking tray. Spread them out a little bit.
Like this?
Yeah, you could probably do...
I should probably add more.
No, you're fine. Mine's too big.
Okay.
So this is, as I said, this is about 4 pounds of meat. When we do it for the Christmas holidays, because my family's pretty large, my mom will do roughly 6 to 7 pounds to get it going. So it's
how much will this? How many meatballs do you think we'll get out of this?
Oh, we're gonna get a lot. We're probably gonna get, I'd say, 24 to 30 meatballs out of this. now we've had our oven preheating at 350. We're gonna put these in the oven for 30 minutes.
Okay.
Let them cook, and then when we pull those out, we're gonna add them to the sauce to simmer and let all of that mix together.
Okay, so now we're gonna take out the meatballs from the oven. So hold on, I'm gonna disappear for a second.
Yep.
Oh God.
Oh no, here we go.
Got it, I got it.
So as we said, these were cooking for at 350 for 30 minutes. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to take each meatball, throw it in the sauce, and let all of the flavors combine.
And they look really good.
Yeah, these are big. You probably should make them a little smaller than this when you do it yourself.
Okay.
Just so, I mean, if you have a pot big enough, you go ahead, but you know, if you don't.
These are Kazanovicz style.
That's right.
They're Kazanovicz size.
These would be family dinner. I'd probably have 2 to 3 of these with my pasta. So,
Okay.
but then again, I can eat more than anybody. So.
This is true. You do beat all of us.
You can see which one Cherlyn made because that one's nice and small, and
That's kind of like a realistic size.
that's a realistic size. So
Okay.
now once we get that in there, we're gonna push them down under the sauce. We're gonna put the cover back on.
Got it.
We're gonna keep this at a medium to medium low heat, and you're gonna let that simmer again for probably about another hour or so to let all the flavors combine and let it go. And then once that's done, we'll be done.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Cool. Good job. We have the finished product here, the meatballs, the sauce, and we added some pasta as well just to make it a complete meal, but you can really eat it by itself or like do anything else with it.
Yeah, they're meatballs by themselves. You can put them on a sandwich or sub roll and have a meatball sandwich. I used to bring those to lunch a fair bit when I was growing up in elementary school, so it's good.
Cool, so let's go try this out.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. Digging right in. This is really good. It has like a really good texture to it. I can definitely taste all the cheese. There's a lot of cheese.
There's enough cheese in there.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So
I feel like I did my mother proud with this.
I think you did too. I think you did too.
Okay.
So I just recommend everyone to try this out. It's really easy and really, really yummy. And it'll last you for a long time.
You can probably get about 5 to 6 pounds of pasta based on the amount of sauce we made with this. So you can cook it once and then eat it for a very long time.
Totally. And how many meatballs did we actually make?
I think we had 23 meatballs.
23 meatballs. So definitely throw a party when you make this dish. And have a great time. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having me.